Good morning from Baxter State Park. Today going to be hiking Mount Katahdin. For a full trail guide of Mount Katahdin, you can go ahead and check the link in the description below. Back in New England hiking, and going to be hiking Mount Katahdin, which is the highest peak in Maine, and it's also the end of the Appalachian Trail. It also has some great Class 3 scrambling, Class 2 scrambling on it. So today going to be hiking to the summit, which is the common loop here, up the Helen Taylor Trail and down Chimney Pond. It's going to be about 7.5 to 8 miles with about 4,500 feet of elevation gain. To start your hike here, you're going to find your first trail junction. The bridge will take you over to Turner Mountain. You want to go left here to Helen Taylor Trail. Growing up in New Hampshire, I did hike Mount Katahdin a long time ago with a couple of friends. It was a really great hike from what I can remember. I didn't know anything about anything back then. I didn't know what class system meant or exposure, but there's apparently a knife edge on this one. It'll be nothing like the one you're used to on Capitol Peak in Colorado, but it should be a pretty fun scramble nonetheless. This park does require a reservation to hike Mount Katahdin as of 2020. And if you're a Maine resident, you can do it whenever you want and as far in advance as you want. But if you're not from Maine, you do have a 2-week window before the day you want to hike. So just be on top of that, especially during the summer. It could be hard to get one if you're not planning ahead. Again, I'm starting at the Roaring Brook Trailhead, and you can see where it gets its name from right here. All right, after a quick hike, you'll reach the trail junction here. Now, just wondering who Helen Taylor was. Now's a good time to talk about my channel. If you're new here, I do hike, trail guides, hiking content, gear reviews all across the United States. So if you want to hit that subscribe button not to miss any future content. And as always, all of my videos have a full write-up with more information about parking, fees, how to get there, camping, tips, tricks, best views, etc. So go ahead and check that out as well. Just shy of 2 miles of hiking, and what a beautiful view of the area here. Looking ahead, you can see the trail. All right, finally above tree line. And as you can see, just beautiful behind me here. Just insanely beautiful up here. Colorado is awesome, but there's a certain kind of unique New England hiking that you just can't get out west. But a closer look at where we're heading. All right, finally get your view of the knife edge section, which is like kind of there. Looking down, just came from there and then there. The blue blaze here is what you're going to be following to at least the summit of Paloma. After that, the color might change. But you can kind of see there's like the side here And then if you want to have a full-blown scramble, you can really stay in the middle. So it's really up to you. I'm enjoying this nice granite hopping, so I've been staying in the middle. Pomola Mountain Peak, I don't know, top of it, 4902, and great view of Mount Katahdin in the background here. And this whole trail is a knife edge. This trail consists mostly of scrambling, so class 2, class 3. It won't go higher than that, and honestly I don't remember it going even into the class 3s, but we'll see. If the weather is bad, this would be a great place to turn around. You don't want to be on this with wet rock. But from here to the summit of Katahdin, it's about another mile of hiking. So once you descend from Pomola, you come down here, some class 3 stuff, and then you're gonna work right up this, where these guys are, on some more class 3 stuff. Looking down and looking back up to Pomola Peak. When they talk about knife edge, this right here is what they're talking about. It's probably about, I don't know, 10 feet wide and decent exposure on either side there. But you can easily kind of find these side trails to avoid all the exposure. The rock is really solid as well. So if memory serves me correctly, that initial down climb and climb off of Pomola Peak are the two toughest kind of sections of this traverse. Your next section here, and it's more or less the same as the first one. New England really isn't known for its killer ridge scrambles, but this is definitely one of the classics. If you can get up here, it is worth your time. Looking back to most of the knife edge there, and then looking forward over to the true summit. So you'll initially get up the ridge here, have a false summit, and then have I don't know, about a quarter mile of hiking to the true summit, which is right there. This is a great spot to stop and look at the southern approach here, and that is the same trail where the Appalachian Trail ends. So you may see some through hikers or segment hikers finishing up on the top, which is always pretty cool. I personally feel like the views from the summit of Baxter Peak or Katahdin are not the best, just because you're really just looking at this big lump here and up north. But yeah, beautiful up here today. Couldn't ask for a better weather day. Heading down after some time on the summit, show you the beautiful views from the summit of Mount Katahdin here. Just a lot of people up there. I do not like to hang around people like that at the top of mountains. It takes away the experience a bit for me, but beautiful day. Cannot complain at all. So to the summit, it was just about 4 miles, and it took me just about 4 hours at a pretty leisurely pace, with filming, of course. So not bad at all. Yeah, overall an awesome day so far. Just beautiful up here, and soaking in these beautiful New England views, which you don't always get. It's a lot of times the weather up on these peaks are super cloudy, windy, and it's just pretty much a prime day, which is awesome because I had no choice on the day that I had to hike this. There was a dog at the summit here, but it was a service dog, but this whole state park is not dog friendly, so unfortunately Katahdin is not a Juneau friendly hike, or any dog for that matter, but certainly a great hike for all levels, really. The knife edge obviously has a bit of exposure, but as long as you have people in the group who are somewhat good shape and okay with a little bit of exposure, you can certainly tackle it no problem. The shortest way down would be to take Cathedral Trail here, which brings you down to the Chimney Pond campground, and about 1.4 miles, and then from there you just have another couple miles of hiking. However, the weather is great, and I'm gonna go ahead and head over to Hamlin Peak, which is just adding 0.6 miles here. So I'm gonna take a left at this junction here and head over to Hamlin Peak. I remember the descent down Cathedral being pretty brutal, so I figured might as well try out a new peak since I'm up here, and a new trail as well. While we're working over to Hamlin Peak, let's talk about gear for this hike. So I prefer trail runners, but trail runners or hiking boots, certainly. Hiking poles would be good for just the descent. A lot of loose rock, especially on this trail. If you take Cathedral as well, same deal. Obviously a backpack, plenty of water, food of course, and protection from the sun, of course. And unlike a lot of these Colorado hikes from my Colorado viewers, in New England you're always going to want to have bug repellent, or bug net especially. It's been really nice today so far, has not been buggy at all, but it can definitely ruin your day if the mosquitoes or black flies or deer flies or whatever else is out biting. It'll really suck. Just working over the saddle and just starting to climb up now to Hamlin Peak. It's been extremely straightforward. Trail conditions have been okay. Started off in a kind of a rock field and then moved to this loose gravel, which wasn't ideal. And now dirt trail in these trees here. But this is very typical New England hiking, just to the T. And the nice thing is that I'm pretty sure, besides a couple guys back behind me here, left all the crowds back at the summit of Katahdin as well. Okay, after about a little over 6 total miles of hiking, you're going to reach this junction here, and just going to continue right up to Hamlin Peak. And it's about, I don't know, 0.2 miles away. It's just basically right on the top of this pile of rocks here. On the top of Mount Hamlin now, about 500 feet shorter than Mount Katahdin, and totally different scene over here. Just quiet. There's a couple guys behind me, but they're not anywhere near within talking distance, and just me on the summit, so nice. You get some beautiful views of Katahdin over to your right here. Maybe this is the summit, I don't know. In any case, awesome views. From the summit of Hamlin Peak, you're going to take the Hamlin Ridge Trail, so it's basically going down to there and then back out. Pretty much done with the ridge up to Hamlin Peak. It's been very slow going. My knees are just sore. These hikes are beautiful, but they're very rocky, so especially on the descent, you just got to take your time, and it's a lot of hard steps on rock. Getting old, but In a little bit here, we're going to reach a trail junction, and you basically have two options, and I'll talk to you about those in a second. Just about 7.6 miles of total hiking, and you're going to reach this junction here. So you can go both ways. It's kind of half a dozen in one, 6 in the other, but I'm going to go right towards the Chimney Pond campground here. All right, finally on the Chimney Pond trail, and just going to head this way. Under a mile left in this hike, so time to wrap it up. Overall, the hike up Mount Katahdin is really beautiful. No matter what trail you take, if you want to go the way I did today, if you want to add on Hamlin, it's just beautiful. I mean, no two ways about it. It's just so remote up here, and so many little lakes and ponds and beautiful meadows. It's just an awesome hike, an awesome area. So this is just going to be about 11 miles. If you don't hike Hamlin Peak, it's going to be just about 8.5-ish to do Mount Katahdin. All the trails are about the same distance, give or take a little bit. So definitely a day hike, but give yourself a good amount of time and good weather. I'd say this is a moderate hike, but really fun. It's just a classic hike. My elevation for the day is just going to be short of 4,600 feet. And that includes both peaks, Hamlin and Katahdin. Again, Hamlin was a bonus. You don't have to hike that unless you want to. If you're new to my channel, I do trail guides here in Maine, here in New England, in Colorado, and beyond. So please hit that subscribe button not to miss any future content. For a full trail guide of Mount Katahdin, you can check the link in the description below. You can also check the description for more gear and more New England hikes in that playlist. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next adventure.